I'm Katsuki.
Hi, I'm Anya, and this is
What's Your Takeaway?
What's Your Takeaway is an exploration of ideas, insight, and inspiration. It is your food for thought.
Here, we peel the onion and unravel the importance and the beauty of introspection.
Hello!
I'm so nervous. My hands are all clammy.
It's okay. My armpits were a bit sweaty earlier, so you're all good.
We're good. This is officially episode
Our
2.
episode 2, and we have a very special
Yes.
guest.
Do the honor, please.
I think no need for
That's true.
further introduction. A very good friend, our good friend, a very talented artist, Miss Golda King.
Hello.
Happy to have you, gang.
I'm happy to be here.
Yay! Thank you for saying yes.
Of course.
And being brave.
Yes.
Okay, Dai, how are you really feeling today?
I'm feeling amazing. Well, first of all, nakainom di ako gamaya. So
It's okay.
I might be like saying a lot of things, but but
That's okay. It's a safe space.
I'm happy to be here with you guys because it's been actually a while since like the last time I hung out with you guys, right?
True.
It's been a while because I think like in the past year, 2 years, I think I was cooped up. I think I was isolating myself a little bit,
We all need that.
going through a lot of things. So now I kind of feel like a little like myself again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to
So,
know. Yeah.
I feel good today.
And I think we've always been the kind of friends who honor each other's needs for hibernation. Low maintenance friends.
Yeah, we are. That's true. Yeah.
We don't judge people for needing time for alone for themselves.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to be judged too, so.
That's true.
And you are the friends that I know would understand.
You're not jet lagged or anything?
I'm not anymore. I was jet lagged and yeah,
All right.
so much more.
So today, we just kind of want to get to know you better. I was telling Katsuki that the reason why we wanted to produce this podcast is to share in a bigger community the kind of conversations we have when it's just the three of us.
Yeah.
I always feel like I'm very fortunate to have core people within my circle who I can talk to about anything under the sun. And we're always very brave to talk about big feelings or big ideas or big issues. And
No holds barred.
no holds barred. And we're always left inspired and invigorated after having conversations with you.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah. Here, we're gonna take this opportunity to get to know more about your process and the importance of introspection in your life.
Yes. And so Katsuki and I are both huge fans of you.
Yes.
But also we've been good friends for a while. And since this is a space that talks about the value of introspection, we want to learn from you what is the origin story of like the practice of introspection or reflection in your life. Like,
Yeah.
when did you feel you started having this practice?
And why do you value it?
Okay, I don't exactly remember how it came about, but I think growing up, I come from a big family, so finding my own identity was always kind of a struggle for me. Overachiever siblings. So I think that's really like, I guess you could call it the driving force, is like finding my own like place in this world, in my own family. And I used to be very angsty about it, but I think now I've learned to accept where I am, who I am, at 40 finally. So I think that's it. I think really like finding yourself, it's kind of a tricky thing to do, right? It
We were
sounds
just
easy,
discussing that.
right? It sounds easy, like, but really delving deep inside, like, who am I really? Like, what am I doing here? And who am I without, my siblings or people comparing me to my siblings? Who am I really? And like just me. So yeah, that's a question I ask myself all the time.
Did you feel like you always had to set yourself apart from your siblings to kind of find that identity, not be in their shadow?
Yeah, why do you think I'm a painter?
Yeah, good one, good one, good one.
I tried so hard to set myself apart from my siblings. I grew up and I was like, I'm going to try to be so different. I'm gonna set my, I don't want to go into business. I don't want to be boring. Like, sorry, I love my sisters. You're not boring. You're not boring. But at that time, I was like, I don't want to be like the model Filipino Chinese daughter. Like,
beautiful
I
daughter.
want to be different. And
Was it
so
a
I was
conscious
drinking a
thing?
lot. I was like, like Manila days, college days. I was like going out a lot. Drinking every day. I was like super lost.
Did you feel like you were already different rather than like I want to be different?
No, I did not.
Okay.
But my mother always saw that. She would always tell
Oh.
me, you're different. You're different. And I wish she would have said something like, you're different because.
How are you different?
Right.
Yeah, I was like, I'm different. And it made me feel like, oh, there must be something wrong with me because
Right.
I'm different.
Yeah. So that's always the case, right? When you're
Yeah.
different, you do feel like
You associate it with something that's not good because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not the norm.
Yeah.
It's not the societal norm. It's
Yeah.
not what people are used to. And
Yeah.
different always makes people feel
uncomfortable
uncomfortable.
because I don't understand it.
Yeah.
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 Do you feel like being a painter was an outcome of that introspection of wanting to become different?
I didn't even know that I wanted to be a painter.
And that's okay. A lot of people don't know what they want to become.
Again, my mom told me.
And this is the power and influence of
You see,
mother knows. Mothers
mother
know.
knows
Yeah.
best. It's really true what they say. I guess they see something in us that we don't see. And then, that happens every day. Like, not just mothers, people perceive us to be something na even we aren't aware of.
Right.
So it was my mom who told me, and I don't think a lot of people know this, but maybe you guys know this, but she was the one who forced me
Forced.
to pursue art at 25 years old.
That was when I met her.
Yeah. 2009. So I was like, yeah, at that time I was thinking, well, lucky me, I didn't have to work for anything. It was just this is just another thing, given to me. So I took it.
So I suppose like you already had some form of reflective practice prior to pursuing that as a career. Because it led you there, even if it had your mother's hand and mother's influence on that path. I mean, the fact that you said yes.
I love that you say path.
Path.
But no, not at all. I think at that time I was still bent on like, this is what my family does, so I should probably follow the footsteps of this and that. So even until now, if somebody told me you're an artist, I say no, I'm not. I'm a painter. I'm not an artist. There's a difference there, right? So even now, I'm still not ready to accept that.
Embrace it fully, you mean? Like,
I mean, Katsuki, Anya, what do you think an artist is? It's different from being a painter. I paint. But what is an artist? Let me throw the question back at you.
well, for me, to me, it's a simple definition because it also took me a while to kind of embrace my creativity.
Yeah.
And I was also scared to kind of, I think, associate myself with the identity of being an artist or becoming an artist. But I feel like as I also delve deep into what does it mean for me, I have slowly appreciated that the word artist or the title identity only means someone who courageously expresses herself, or
Yeah.
someone who courageously expresses oneself. And I'm that. So I don't know if I'm not able to create anything tangible. So I don't know if I'm 100% confident in calling myself one, but I do know that I appreciate forms of self-expression.
Yeah.
And everyone, I feel, has an artist within themselves.
Exactly. I was gonna say because, well, in my case, I'm a bit more superstitious. When I say, well, I'm still starting to believe this too. You know that I am
Yeah.
an artist. I always think about it this way: that the gods chose me, that so that I could express something
Yeah.
that they cannot. So I'm a vessel for
True.
something. So that's how I look at myself. Like, oh, I'm an artist.
I love that. And isn't it that in the book that you recommended, The Creative Act, A Way of
Rubin.
Being by Rick Rubin, he mentioned that if you have an idea and it's not something that's born in the world, somebody somehow is set to do it because it's there. It's floating in the universe.
Yeah, and like I said, we're just vessels. So if you get that sign, take it. And if you don't, it's gonna go to someone else. So yeah, so that's how I see art.
Kind of like you've found your purpose.
I have, I think.
Do you feel like you're not there yet?
Far
Right.
from it.
I don't see that though.
Yeah.
I feel like you are living your purpose, Golds.
I
But
don't
that's
know.
just
I
me.
don't see it. You know, somebody asked that, and I'm gonna share because it's somebody I met on Bumble recently.
Okay.
Is it okay to share?
Yes,
Of course,
of
yes.
course. That's what we're here
If
for.
makakita si Ani. Hi.
Shout out to that Bumble date.
You know, no, we didn't go on. We're
We were just
like, chatting, and you know, we were talking about purpose, and I was so surprised because that's kind of my word of the year. Our word for the year is purpose and courage, like finding purpose. So this year has been dedicated to finding what my purpose is. So he asked me, "What about you? What is your purpose?" I'm like, you know, I feel like I keep searching for it, but I feel like it has already found me, right? But I just haven't. I'm not looking at it. I'm not seeing it, but it's
Okay.
just right there, ba. So
I feel like people have different purpose at different stages of their life. You know, you said so yourself. You found you, but you're kind of not aligned to it yet because you're looking for more.
yeah, more. I'm super hard to what is it? What's the word? Like
Articulate.
not articulate, but hard to please. But and he said, and maybe let's not name names, but he said, he said, well, me to start, my purpose is my dog.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, it can't be that simple. I told him, like, your purpose is your dog and you're okay with that. He's like, yes.
Yeah, I think that's probably for you, that's the missing part, that you're not settled in just this. It's just, this is
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, there's more.
He said, and he's a 50-year-old person and kind of, hey, I think he's an art director,
Yeah.
kind of stable in life. And he's like, well, I'm not ashamed to say that my purpose right now is my 2-year-old dog.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh. So I guess my purpose is my 12-year-old cat named
Why not?
Puppy.
Yeah.
That's one of your many
Right?
purposes
Like,
in life.
So,
yeah.
no, I think my purpose that I have not fulfilled yet, that I haven't even started with, it's like I really, with this art thing, the painting, the recognition, the fame, it's nice. But what can I do with it? What else can I do with it that's more worthwhile?
So that's the more that she's looking
Yeah.
for, I
Yeah.
guess.
I
Yeah.
feel like in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you're
Yeah.
looking for that self-actualization bit.
yeah.
So, but what you're doing now would still connect you to that purpose.
Yeah.
in hindsight, it may not be something you're settled in with now.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, what you're doing now will still contribute to what you want to do in the future.
Right.
But I'm also thinking, because I grew up with, like, how do you say it? Like a very Jesuit mentality care of my dad. So, Jesuit, man for others.
Yeah.
What, how can you be of service to other people? So, growing up, my dad would always say, you can be whatever you want to be, you can do whatever you want to do, but you always think about the end goal. How can you help other people with your practice or
Yeah.
wherever? So I was thinking, if we didn't grow up with that kind of mentality, would I be thinking about these things? Or maybe I would just be happy being like a painter, be content with producing 150 paintings a year. I mean, that's kind of like an achievement also.
Of course.
But because I grew up with that kind of mentality, so I'm always questioning, what can I do and why am I not doing it yet? Yeah.
It seems as if like there's a lot of influences in the way you practice your art.
Yeah.
Painting, right? Like that's kind of your craft now and that's your present purpose now. And there are things you want to achieve. You want to be able to use your practice to serve the community or serve a greater good.
Yeah.
But I'm curious how you've used or how introspection has taken a huge part in your creative process. Like, because it seems as if like you take into consideration a lot of elements in your practice. Your family life, obviously, is so important for you in your upbringing, your childhood. And then there's that question of, am I an artist? When am I going to embrace that? And then there's also that other element of, what can I do with my art? So how does that all weave in together in your process?
I don't know. Oh my gosh. Wait lang. I feel like maybe 5 years ago, I would have an answer to that question. And then 5 years, that would be now. I have to think about it again. Like, I have to regroup. Because I feel like I'm a different person now from 5 years ago.
Of course.
Of course.
So, I don't know.
I think this is part of the introspection.
Yeah.
This whole I don't know
It's
thing.
the I don't know, and
Yeah.
it's the whole like, where am I at right now? I don't know. Honestly, I can't. I'll have to reflect on.
Yeah,
But
that's it. That's the
beautiful.
point. Yeah.
My question is, how do you feel about not knowing?
Yeah.
Weirdly, I'm okay. That's so weird.
That's okay. I guess that's okay.
Because
Why is it
Gatsby was just
okay?
talking about how she wants to get to your point of being okay with not knowing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't even know how I got here, to be honest. TBH.
TBH. Gen Z.
I don't know. Like, I don't know how I got here. That I'm just,
I guess this is also a nice place to be at, don't you think?
Yeah,
Like,
not
to-
knowing
not
and,
knowing
be,
and
and
just
be okay with not knowing.
and just allowing, I guess, like waiting for
blank
some.
slate.
Yeah,
kinda.
yeah.
yeah.
Like from scratch.
In one of the articles that was written about you, you were interviewed and you talked about how the practice of painting is actually a form of introspection for you.
Yes.
And how you can't produce something if you do not have a certain level of self-awareness.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where is that now?
Because I'm not there anymore.
Right.
You're not there anymore.
I'm not there anymore. So
Which is where?
I'm not anymore questioning, why am I here?
Right.
Why am I
Okay.
doing what I do? So I'm not there anymore. I don't have the urge to paint lonely figures anymore. Like, I'm kind of like,
I love them though, but okay.
me too, honestly. And I'm glad you do, because I've gotten like numerous messages from from people saying, "Oh, could you paint like happier paintings?"
Oh, really?
And it's fine. I don't
Yeah.
take offense in that. Like I welcome feedback.
But to me, it's like, Katsuki, can you write happier songs? I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I just say, yeah, okay, I'll get to that eventually,
Yeah.
you know. So, but I'm not there yet. It's like 2017, 2018, you know, always like, who am I and what am I doing? Like, I'm so different. Like, I just want to be accepted. And, you know, I kind of like see myself in that, like, which is not really true because, yeah, but I was always attracted to lonely, solitary figures, right? But now, I don't know. But wait lang ha. So I actually have a solo show coming up.
So what's in there
Yeah.
that we don't know?
Actually, very different. My concept will be dedicated to my mom.
Nice.
Beautiful.
And
Looking forward.
We've been friends for a long time. So if you know, you know.
Yeah.
She was like,
If you know, were you trying to say it in letters?
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
That's true.
And here I am dedicating an entire body of work to my
For
mom.
her.
That's
For my
amazing.
mom.
Beautiful.
I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so different from
I can't wait.
wherever I was.
I think coming from, being your friend throughout these years and being a witness to a lot of things,
Yeah.
everything, it's an amazing evolution of like who you have become. But also I'm very amazed by how easily you're able to let go of your identities in the past that no longer serve you or are no longer who you are now.
Is that what's happening?
I
Is that really what's happening now?
Because when you talk about you not knowing
Yeah.
where you're at and you not knowing kind of how everything that happened in the past ties into like what you're doing now,
Yeah.
it feels like you're shedding off identities. That's
I think
just
so too. I was
how-
just gonna say.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that you're okay with not knowing. That you're willing to be.
I'm surprised. So like, what the fuck is this? But I had a conversation with one of my old friends, also high school friends, and we were talking about my recent trip to Istanbul, Turkey. Long story, but I told her, it took us so long to get to 40, right? Like 27, 25, like seems like a lifetime ago. So, and she goes, yeah, we're so different now. I'm like, and we didn't even realize that, how different we are now
Yeah.
at 40. So,
Yeah.
Isn't it great?
yeah, 40 is a great age.
I wouldn't
It
know. I
is.
don't have age.
Yeah.
I just kidding.
I'm so excited.
40 is a great
I'm excited
age.
to age.
Yeah.
Age, yeah.
I'm already aging.
I feel
Dili
like
lang yun,
aging is
siguro.
such a beautiful process.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So in this coming solo show that's in honor of your mom, what was your point of introspection? Like, how did you come about the idea of doing a solo show dedicated to your mom?
Time. Limited
Interesting.
time.
Interesting.
I sometimes we forget, how old they are.
Yeah.
Like, or how old we are, even. So, and I think we're at this point, my mom and I, we grew up. Finally, me at 40 and my mom at 69. We're finally friends. And I'm just happy that we're there.
Yeah.
That's
And
beautiful.
so grateful that, she was...
It's okay.
No, it's just... Now lang ba? Like, I'm thinking, our relationship wasn't perfect, but she was always there.
Yeah.
Like, just pushing me. She knew where I was supposed to go.
Yeah.
even when she hated my guts, So she knew. So she's just nudging. So now finally I see that, because I used to think it was so like intrusive or like what's not overwhelming, like what's the word for it? Like, what's a word that you describe mothers? It'll come to me. But
Doting,
not doting, like
overprotective.
like kanang kanang overbearing,
Right.
right? So mothers
She was
and
pushing you
daughters,
to the edge.
yeah. But she knew what was good for me, I think. So now I see that and I appreciate it. And how, like, what better time than now? The song, like, what's that song from
I have no
Rage
idea what
Against the Machine?
Okay, there you go.
What
Okay,
better
rock
time
and
than
roll.
now? What no.
I feel like it's something. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so now I feel like sometimes I think, okay, like, gosh, our time here is so limited at 40, and all these news about people perishing, like
Yeah.
dying, like, you never know, right? We're 40, we're not really young anymore. So, yeah, I think I just wanted to give gratitude,
Yeah.
and
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
In a way, you're kind of like your mother's work of art. In a way,
Yeah.
True.
She pushed you to become that, and so
Yeah.
you are her work of art, and now you are giving back.
yeah.
I think that's always been
honoring.
their role, right? From
Honoring.
since
Yeah,
that's always been mother's role from since we are in their wombs.
Yeah.
Or they push you out to live,
right.
and then
Literally?
literally
Literally.
they push you out to live, and then they push you to soar high.
Yeah.
I think that's also something we three have in common, are the intricacies of our relationships with our moms and how big of an influence they are to our lives. I'm just so fascinated with how one element inspired you to decide on the solo show time. You know, like
Yeah.
it is like the greatest gift that we sometimes
Take for granted.
take
Yeah.
for granted.
I actually, so also because I turned 40 this year, so it's a milestone year for me. So I decided to take a little break from painting. I had a solo show
When was this?
last year, the Connect the Dots, that one, and I don't
Last year around this time.
yeah, around this,
Yeah.
like, or maybe it was like June, and I actually told myself I'm going to take a break. So I took a break. So going back, so 40 milestone year, it really took my time to think about what I really want to do, you know. So I went to Monet's garden, and I was like, oh, this is so nice, and that's when I decided I'm going to dedicate my next series to for my mother. And then I was gonna name it Ode to Hope, because her name is Heidi Esperanza. So Esperanza means hope.
Right.
And I Googled it, and then there's actually a poem by Pablo Neruda called Ode to Hope.
Amazing.
Nice.
And it kind of described her perfectly. I'm like,
Wow.
Nice.
You
connect,
should have
connect.
someone read that poem in
Yeah.
your show.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's the
was like, oh.
synchronicity.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's just powerful because I feel like you consciously decided that this is going to be your big year of pause.
yeah.
But in this year, you had a lot of time for introspection.
Yeah.
I guess which led you to this.
Or
Any
not.
big revelation?
Or
Yeah.
not.
Or not. I mean,
Yeah.
but that, like, just the emptiness of not really having to think about
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so freeing. I actually did not. I'm like, you know what? Because I traveled so much this year, a lot, and just soaking up everything, the terrain, landscapes, and the feeling, and to my older friends, they don't really see me as an artist or a painter. They just see me as Golda, and oh, Golda, she's a little bit goofy, moody, a little bit reactive, impulsive. So I think it's challenging for them to connect the introspective Golda to the Golda they know.
Yeah.
Like, so, why was I talking about this?
You were talking about how it was a year of introspection, but also there's like
The
nothing.
freedom. Yeah.
Freedom.
Yeah. So actually, while I was traveling, because we were in Spain, Iceland, and then Denmark, and then Turkey. But I think what people don't realize is the amount of energy I put in, like thinking,
Right.
Inside, reflecting.
reflecting inside, and they just wonder, why is she like suddenly quiet? And because I'm thinking, I'm
Processing.
processing. So
Yeah.
and not a lot of people understand that. They think, oh, is she okay? Is she
Yes,
bored?
exactly.
Is
Yeah.
she upset?
I get that all
is
the
she
time.
like,
Yeah.
Because they
what's
know
going
you a
on
certain
here?
way. They know
Yeah.
you a certain way.
They know me a certain way, but it's difficult to have to say like, oh, don't mind me, guys. I'm just having my quiet time and like
Yeah.
thinking about life and like, you know. So yeah, I've had, even though I say, oh, I didn't really think about anything. I didn't do a lot of introspective things, but actually I did.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the entire year
Yeah.
of your
Yeah.
40th has been that
Yeah.
that break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of this big year, so what has been your biggest takeaway?
Yeah.
Because we
with
are
everything.
in What's Your Takeaway?
Takeaway is I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. I've been reading a lot of quotes from this dude, Aldous Huxley.
Uh-huh.
So I don't even I can't remember the complete quote, but something about lightly. Where's my phone? Can I add it to? But just take things lightly. I think at 40, you have like, it's okay for you to be saying just take things lightly. I think.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
It is what it is. Tomorrow is a good day. No, it's actually on somebody's like Instagram bio, and we're laughing about this, but whenever I read it, it makes sense, It is what it is. Tomorrow is a good day. Thanks for that. But it makes sense. So it goes back to like just take things lightly.
Yeah.
Lightly. So
It's kind of like not controlling,
yeah.
That's true.
not forcing.
And I always read Desiderata by Max Ehrmann. It helps me a lot always when I'm feeling kind of like,
a lot of emotions.
yeah, be cheerful, strive to be happy.
Yeah. And it what you said reminded me also of Don Miguel Ruiz's 4 agreements, and one of which is don't take things personally.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah.
It's not about
You.
you.
Yeah.
Not about you. All the
But
time.
I think your question really is, how did I get here? Right?
yeah.
How did I get here?
How did you get there?
I mean, because you were saying earlier that here, because I was wanting to understand where is here for you right now, and my understanding is here is not knowing.
I think getting here, what do you call it when you can destroy relationships? There's like a smarter way of saying it.
Or cutting people off or what?
Like just pushing people away.
Okay.
I went through that. I went through that. Like pushing people away. Like, I pushed a lot of people away. Yeah. So
That's okay because
I did that. And
So that's how you got here. You
Yes.
kind of weed people away that you don't.
yeah.
Need
that's how I
anymore.
got here, and I realized how important it is to not push people away.
But I also feel like you
So-
either do it or they naturally weed off.
Right. Yeah.
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 I don't know, like, if I can say, like, I've forgiven myself. Like, maybe I have subconsciously. I don't know. But I'm at a good place right now. I feel like.
Yeah, it's really
Knock
fine
on
to
wood.
to cut people off. I think that's healthy.
It is.
Because if they're no longer, appreciative of your truth, if you're no longer aligned with them, it's really healthy. You're not doing them any good also. So
But in Desiderata, it says, be in good terms with everybody.
doesn't
you
mean
can
that
you can
cut people off without
and not and maybe cutting people off was a kind thing to do.
yeah.
Yes.
'Cause
Well, in my case, yes.
being with people you don't share values with anymore, or people you don't kind of serve their purpose in your life, then that's also not being true
Yeah,
to
that's
yourself.
already people pleasing. If you
Yeah, it's
ask
already-
me,
yeah.
and
And
that's not good too.
And that's
It's not.
it's an authentic relationship
No,
with
it's
them.
not.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Boundaries, yes,
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
Yeah. And I feel like to me it's always about resonance.
Mm-hmm.
When people don't resonate with you in whatever level, may it be energy, values, interest, it's just what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it
There.
is what it is. Tomorrow is a better day.
Tomorrow is a better day.
Wait lang. Because I recently made a new friend, like just this year. He's a fashion designer. And we were talking about my latest escapade. And, it's like, I got rejected. And he's like, no. Should he cry? Should he attach? She goes. They go. You were not rejected, but even if you were, we're still pretty. So
That's the major takeaway.
I was expecting something like profound. I'm like, oh yeah, but that makes sense too.
we're still pretty.
We're still pretty.
Yeah,
That's
so
true.
today that was my takeaway. Today.
That's a good takeaway.
yeah.
I think so too.
Whatever happens, you're still pretty, and that's what matters.
Yes.
How about you, Katsuki?
My
What
biggest
is your takeaway
From this
today
conversation,
from this conversation?
we're still pretty.
And that's what matters.
Yes.
pretty awesome.
What about you?
I think my takeaway, I haven't really looked at introspection in this perception. I think Golda gave me a very refreshing perspective about
Actually,
introspection.
Yeah.
And to me, my takeaway is introspection can also mean a big surrender to nothingness.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love you.
So I'll embroider it.
Right?
Quotable quote.
Yeah, I love that. Surrender.
It's a big
'Cause
surrender
that's something I can't
to nothingness. To
Yeah.
people are always, I guess, running away from the feeling of emptiness or from nothingness, like it's a bad word. But you made it so beautiful. Like the way you're describing where you're at now. Feels so liberating. Like
Yeah.
I felt the freedom
Yeah.
in you.
I also felt like it's necessary.
Yes.
Yeah, and for someone, I'm just gonna loop it in from how our conversation started. From someone who always felt like you were under the shadow of your family and your siblings, to get to where you're at now and
Yeah.
feel liberated from all those identities.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah, truly admirable. Yeah.
and so powerful.
Yep.
So yay! Wow, that's it.
That's what was that?
What was that?
That was awesome.
Is there part 2?
I love how it was too
We're not
short.
done yet.
I mean, I feel like there's always so much to unpack when when it's the three of us having conversations.
Honestly,
But
yes.
Yeah. It's so. I think we came into the conversation wanting to understand your creative process and why you were painting dots and landscapes and these colors, and
I wish I could.
it's just beautiful how you directed us to a blank slate.
Yeah.
Now I just see an empty canvas, and I'm really excited for
That's why. Yeah.
the next decade.
I also think this is growth. So I think this is beautiful. So I can't wait to see the solo show.
Pressure.
So thank you, guys. Like, I'm really
you.
grateful
Thank
for
you.
your presence here today.
Yeah. Thank
I've
you.
learned so much. Yeah.
Thank
you.
you. I always learn so much.
Yeah. And thank you, everyone, for listening. And
see you in our next episode.
yes, more guests. Bye.
Bye.